Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 1 of Aki. I have my friend Aki from Massachusetts. We met a few months ago through Discord, and we've been playing Fortnite, and we thought, might as well start a podcast, because there's so many interesting things to talk about in this world, and how people are very weird all over the world, and especially dating, especially in your 20s. So that's what going to be our topic of episode 1. And we start off with talking about online dating. Seems like that's become quite the theme on how to meet people. It's not how it was in the 90s, but now it is. Aki, say hello. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you, Drew?
I'm good. Welcome to episode 1. This is very exciting. We've talked about this for a while, and now we're finally getting it going. So.
Well, I'm excited.
All right, let's get into the topic. How online dating feels like, I don't know. For me, it just feels like it's so weird. You have Bumble, you have Tinder, you have Grindr for the gay people out there. I'm not. I mean, I can pretend, but I'm not. You have Hinge, which I like, and then you have, what's the other one? I forget. Do you remember the fifth one? There's a fifth one.
No, actually,
No?
don't know.
And I just feel like, I don't know. You have to feel like you have to sell yourself on these dating apps, because it's just like, yes, you're putting yourself out there and stuff, and people say you are marketing yourself, but it's just like, it's such a judgment zone. Because, you have people, oh, this person's overweight. I don't want to date them. I don't like how they look. I'm going to swipe left, and then they judge each other based on how they look, I guess, which it fucking sucks. And everything just becomes so fucking, terrible. And it's just, I don't know. How's online dating for you in Massachusetts?
It has been terrible. I know I heard a lot of people getting catfished, especially. I know, like, nowadays, our generation or even younger generation tends to lean towards Discord.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, yes, Discord is for everyone, but there's like a majority increase of getting catfished.
Yeah.
And sometimes sometimes when, say, you're in a relationship and you do online dating on Discord, the people tend to just
Not be
manipulate you for money, and you end up thinking, yeah, I love this person, but they are just frauds because they're on this app for just money.
That's
And
a
so
lot of them, yes.
Yeah, and so the younger population, I feel like, does not really understand that. And they're like, yeah, let's go. I have a boyfriend. Okay, yeah, I have a girlfriend. Yeah, I want to spoil them. But then you got to keep in mind with the factors of online dating, like you mentioned.
My experience with it is just so, like, it's not genuine, because people, I just fucking hate men. I'm not saying, like, I'm better. I mean, I've learned a lot through mistakes, and I've grown as a person, but it's just like, oh my god, men in their fucking 20s are just horrible. They're just egotistical as fuck, thinking they're better than other men when they're marketing themselves on these apps. Tinder is the fucking worst, because you have all these frat guys. I hate frat. Like, I will dead ass just say that now. I tried joining a frat. It was the worst fucking shit ever. You're paying for friends, and every woman finds that attractive, I guess. I don't know why, but I guess that's the niche in our generation, which it fucking sucks, but it's alright. But I just feel like you have to market yourself that there's a certain attraction that people are attracted to, and that it's become a norm, if you get what I'm saying. Like, you have to have your shit together, you have to be bulky, you have to be financially stable, and if not,
Right.
It's not attractive.
Right.
It's a tier scare. It's a tier scale.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Also, the fact is, this person could have multiple relationships. And
That's become more present in our generation too. In the '90s, my parents said you were either one of two things: you were either dating the person or you were fucking with the person. Now you have all these terms of, oh, I'm in a polyamorous relationship with this person, which means more than one person, which I can never do. I am full on monogamy, but it's just like, I mean, I have no problem with anyone. Like, I accept everyone for who they are, but just me personally, I can never do that. Like, you're dating three people at once and you're trusting them. It's just like, oh, they're allowed to go fuck whoever they want. It's just like, what?
Exactly. And like, why get into these relationships when you want to be with multiple people?
Yes. I mean,
Like,
I'm for the traditional, but like I accept everyone for who they are. So, but
I yeah.
but all these options that you can add. I will say this because I've spent enough time around the LGBTQ community to know that Grindr is the worst place for anyone to be introduced or anything. And I will say this the most confident and nice way possible. Gay men are a lot more hornier than or get hornier and not, I don't want to say desperate, but just like less boundaries. That's a good way of putting it. Like they I don't know. They just there's less to market. Does that make sense? I think that's a nice way of
Yeah,
putting it.
because
Yeah.
not a lot of people are confident.
Yes,
coming out.
they lose respect. The gay men, I love them. They're great. But they
Great
just
people as
yeah.
individuals,
They
but
just they think about more the sexual than the genuine connection.
right.
Yes. And it's harder in my experience for I don't know, straight women on dating apps. Obviously, it's a double standard. Obviously, if you're a young, attractive woman, you're going to get a bunch of likes, and then if you're an average Joe man, you're trying to sell yourself and trying to make this best version of an account, and then of course all the women are going to get all these likes, and they're like, oh, which guy can I use? So there are some good ones out there, I will say that, but in my experience,
Exactly.
yeah. But
But I
it's
feel
just
like
it's horrible.
sometimes social media is also the reason why it just pressures people to just get into relationships when they're not really ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that creates a more like a negative impact on growing people because they go to school, like for example, kids, they go to school and they're like, oh, my friend, he got a girlfriend and I want to get a girlfriend, I want to experience this stuff. But then in reality, you're not ready and you just get into a relationship and you just end up hurting yourself and the other person too. So
I've learned that never rush into a relationship. It's just the young hormonal stuff is just you're young and you're like, oh we can do all this stuff, and then you don't, and then reality hits, and then you're like, oh shit. And I will admit I've done that so many times, and I'm like, fuck, I wish I knew what I knew now back then.
yeah,
Don't rush into shit. And like there's so much gullibleness, and now AI is changing shit that it's so hard to tell like what's real and what's not. Like for example, I saw on the news the other day a 77-year-old man died because he went to New York and thought it was a real woman he was talking to, and he fell off the fucking plane stairs, and the girl ended up being fake. So it's ridiculous.
it's just crazy because there's new technology advancements and like people obviously are curious and do know about those, but then it's ruining many lives because older population does not know many of these technology advancements.
They don't
And
know the difference.
yeah, and they end up suiciding themselves because
It's making them
their life,
subconscious.
yeah, their life just turned into a huge lie, you know?
Yes,
Like,
I 100% agree. And I don't know. It's just, God. It's just like online dating. It's just Tinder is the worst in my opinion, because it's made itself known around hookup culture. Because
Right.
it's the easiest that you could spend money on, and it lets when you make a match, any person can respond. Bumble, the woman has to respond. Hinge,
Right.
you like the person, but you send a message, and then Grindr's just a whole different heyday of horniness. Grindr is like a fucking. I've never been on it, but I've had enough friends that have been on it, and I see it, and there's just pee-pees everywhere in the profile photos. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what happened? What happened to how are you? What?
Description reminds me of like the Discord's 18 plus servers.
Yeah.
Servers are specifically made for like
Adults.
these types of activities, and I'm like, oh, that's just the same version as Grindr.
A few months ago I was on. It was not a dating app, but it's called Yubo. The easiest way I would describe Yubo, it's a mix of TikTok and Tinder, and so
Right.
you can go live on it, but people have like talked. They don't show their faces, so they talk to people and then they make friendships with them, and then they meet up, and it was called a Yubo meetup. They called it. They coined the name, and one of my friends went from New York to Florida to meet up with someone, and they ended up being a lot older than they said. So it's just like,
Catfished.
wow.
He got cat.
Yeah, it just was not good. And the app used to be called Monkey, and they had to change the name because it's like any online stuff. The internet is just so bad. They had to change the name from Monkey to Yubo because kids were going on there doing suicidal stuff. And
Like they weren't. Well,
yeah.
with the monks, they couldn't really attract older population, like adults.
Well, it's the same thing with Omegle.
Yeah.
That's why Omegle fucking died, because you had creeps. That's another thing with online dating. You have creeps. You have pedophiles. Well, you can't do anything.
Creeps.
Yes. You have creeps on Tinder. Yes, it's 18 plus, but obviously there's people that are underage on there, which is insane because you can lie so easily about your age, which is scary and fucking weird. The weirdest one was Omegle because, it's FaceTime on the internet. You are connected to it. So for anyone who doesn't know what Omegle is like, think of FaceTime, but with random ass people on the internet. So you get connected, and then you go into people's online servers, and then you join them, and then you talk to them. And they got shut down because fucking weirdos were jerking it to just random girls or guys on the internet, and they ended up being underage.
I've seen this on TikTok for your page. It popped up,
so
and I'm like, crazy. Oh, it reminds me of creeps. So recently on the news, there was Shelp. I don't know if you guys know what Shelp is. He's a Roblox
player
or YouTuber who tracks down creeps and predators on Roblox.
Is this what I saw in the news recently? Roblox?
Yeah.
Chris Hansen? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, what's Chris Hansen doing?
I think he's working with Shelp to like deeply investigate and catch more predators.
So what are the predators doing on Roblox? Are they using the microphone feature to talk?
Yeah.
So
that's what I thought. Like public bathroom simulator where like it's
like the bar simulator.
Yeah. So that's where the creeps and predators are like usually there, and I still don't get why that game wasn't banned. But apparently a lot of parents were complaining because their kids would go in there and they would meet up with these bunch of creeps and predators, and and then they just like hold up. They meet up with a bunch of creeps and predators, and the kids give out their personal information, and the creeps and predators show up to their house, and who knows what happens next.
Well, that's so like they end up on to catch predator.
Yep. So it's been going viral about that, and parents are really pissed. And I know like some countries want to ban Roblox now So like, and Roblox lost a lot of content creators for this situation.
Well, you know, if I ever met a pedo in real life, they would get this. Sad trombone straight to the jail cell. But I don't know. It's just like there's this other app just like Roblox, and it's called Duet, and it's like any other. I don't know. There's so many just weird dating apps. Like the 5 most popular in the U.S. Obviously, Tinder's number 1, Bumble's 2, Hinge's 3. Hinge is the best in my opinion and the safest, and then Grindr's on the bottom, and then Hinge, Bumble, Tinder. There's a 4th one I'm forgetting. I don't know. That's the main 4, but safety is also a number 1 priority because I've been, I haven't been catfish, but I've like driven out of my way for like unrealistic expectations, if that makes sense. Like on Tinder, this is one of my personal experiences. I drove 2 hours for Tinder, and of course, you know, it's not gonna work out, so it's just a hookup. And Tinder has that option because you can look at the location or like you could set the location range so over 100 miles. So you're meeting people who are out of state or in the state that you're obviously not going to grow a connection with. But it's just so like, I don't know. It's just, my point is like, it's so unrealistic and disingenuous of how love or growing connection used to be. So.
Right. Also, I think these apps also have a chance of kidnapping and selling
and human trafficking.
Yeah, because I know there has been a couple of stories on the news, but then again, they haven't catched a couple of people. But still, these apps are used for those, and you have to be careful with who you talk to, who you meet up. You can't just randomly be like, "Oh, we're matched. Let's go meet up," and who knows what will happen.
There's very gullible people out there, and especially men. Men, I'm not being sexist, but it's just like, it's, I don't want to say it's a fact. It kind of is a fact. Men are fucking gullible, okay? Men suck. Men in their 20s are fucking disrespectful. Fuck me being nice. I don't care anymore. Men that I've interacted with, they're either fratty, they're disrespectful, they're immature, they're egotistical, they have just they're not genuine. They're just fucking, I hate men in 2025, in their 20s, trying to date, because one, they either over-sexualize everything, like people that I've worked with, which I get it, culture, whatever. 2, there's no platonic friendship. If you're a friend with a woman, society has made it where, oh, they're dating, oh, they're fucking with each other. No! They can be friends. Men and women can be friends, especially in your 20s. And it's just because your young, dumb brain isn't 25 yet and it's not fully developed, and you can't fucking make a coherent thought and can't think, oh, they're probably just friends. Like, they're friends, bro. It's just, I just hate men, Aki. They're just, over-sexualize the fuck out of everything.
No, I agree. I 100% agree with that, too. I feel like just the younger version, like the younger generation, is being influenced by movies.
Yes, and you know the way, so the saying, tell me who your 3 friends are, or 5 friends, whatever it is, I'll tell you who you are, has so much truth to it. I've seen that firsthand at my part-time job. Like, no shit to them. Love them. They're great. But it's just like, tell me who you surround yourself with and what influences you.
Mm-hmm.
And what's going to happen? Oh my God, you're acting like them.
Right.
It's ridiculous. And especially in college age-based settings. Like, there's so many stereotypes when it comes to that, too. I think online dating has made the stereotype if, like, oh, long distance. If your girlfriend... This is a stereotype I saw on TikTok recently. oh, my girlfriend's going to Alabama. I live in New York. And then the comment section on TikTok is, oh, she's going to get railed. Oh, she's going to get ran through like a fucking whore on a night. Like, it's just, oh, social media has made these not expectations, these stereotypes of like what's going to happen. And then when it happens, they're like, oh, there's the stereotype.
We warned you.
Mm-hmm.
We warned you. Well, I think those types of comments also just make a huge impact on their relationship because, like, they end up not trusting each other, or the boyfriend tells the girlfriend you can't move, and that just crushes the girlfriend's dreams.
It creates like what I've noticed, and like I'll be honest, I've never been in a long-term relationship. I mean, I hate the term situationship, but that's all I've been in. So I don't really have the stability experience. But from what I've seen in my last, situationship, toxic masculinity. Oh my God. It's horrible. The jealousy that I've seen. If someone, for my next relationship, I want, my personality is la 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 la. And I don't like the patriarchy. The patriarchy is so bad. I went out a few times, and I just see men. They're carrying stuff. They're doing what traditional men are supposed to do, and I hate that. It should be just have fun, bro. Why do you have to care of oh, okay, I'm the man, I'm supposed to do this, you're supposed to be in the kitchen? I hate that so fucking much. And it's just
because you're a man, you're not really expected to pay too.
Yes, I know, and it's such a hierarchy.
So what if you split the bill? So what if the girlfriend wants to pay? So what?
So what about from what's your experience been with I don't know, I've never asked if you've been in any relationship, but what's your experience with online dating, of being on the woman's perspective, I guess.
So I've been in a 4-year in-person relationship versus a year online.
Okay.
And I say the in-person relationship is much better than online because when you're long distance, the person tends to bring up what their ex did. And they would always
time.
And I'm like, okay, so if you want the way that your ex did, maybe you should have stayed with your ex, because that's the feeling it's been implemented, because the way that they just bring it up and they start comparing and they make you feel like you're inferior and you make you feel like you're insecure because you don't have the qualities that your ex does. And why, and the feeling that you always get in your mind is why did you even break up with your ex in the first place then?
From what I've learned, if they talk about their ex in the first fucking 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then start comparing, they're not fucking over their ex.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking insane because narcissism is such a big factor of a self-inflicted ego of oh, I'm better than you, I have money, I have all these factors that make me better than you, and then your ego goes through the roof, and then it's oh, well, I could walk over any man and I can use any man for their money. Yep. And I'm the best version of myself, so.
Yep.
And the guy. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the guy that I've been with, he always was toxic.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that, so, say I had, a field hockey practice, and all day, we have 2 sessions a day, and in between we would have meetings or, team bonding activities, and I would not be on messages or not responding back because I was really busy, and he would be really toxic, and he was just giving me this attitude about, and then starts comparing with his ex, and I'm
that's an insecurity.
I'm you gotta understand, everyone has a life, and no one's expected to be on call with you 24/7. I have a life.
That's the toxic masculinity.
Exactly.
Yeah. I saw toxic masculinity firsthand when I was golfing one time. I was at Topgolf one time, and I played in high school, so I'm above
Right.
average. And the girl next to us, a couple,
Mhm.
was looking at me and she was like, "Whoa, he's got good swing." The boyfriend was getting jealous.
Just for a
Yeah,
compliment.
yeah. Because she's looking at me like, "Whoa," and then that's stealing away from his validation of like, "Oh, I need to get her pussy wet." Blah, 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 blah. Oh, Jesus, man.
Like, I feel like men need to understand that.
Yes. And it's all different for the different generations. Like if you talk to a millennial, they didn't deal with this shit in the early 2000s. Phones were coming up. Gen Z, we are dealing with this right now. And then Gen Alpha is going to deal. My brother is 12. I mean, he's Gen Z, but I consider him Gen Alpha.
He's been off.
Yeah. They grew up with phones. And as parents, I feel like I'm not a parent yet and I want to be, but I feel like for my children, they're going to grow up in that time of everything's advanced, everything's technologically advanced, and they're going to have an iPad, and it's going to be so much more difficult to disdain them from social media and the dangers of the fake, the norms you're supposed to, or the expectations you're supposed to have when it comes to women, men, dating, not even dating in general, but just like every aspect of life that you're supposed to know when growing up. We didn't deal with that. Gen Alpha is gonna have to deal with that. I talked to like what life was like when I was in 7th grade. I was fucking playing with Skylanders, silly bands, Pokemon cards, but now I talked to my brother and they saying they hate like transgender people. Like there's so much disdainment towards them and hatred, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like why hate? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just like fucking crazy, and it's just fucking ridiculous.
I agree.
But yeah, it's just like there's so much hate in the world, and hopefully men, especially men, will learn to how to treat a woman. And
I agree.
I hope they just I don't know. I'm not saying I'm better, but it's just I have a lot of confidence in how I'm going to treat my next partner because of all this hate. And so hopefully you men out there can disdain and learn how to treat a woman. So
Totally.
but online dating is already as toxic as it is, so guys, don't feed into it. But guys, that is all the time we have today. That is episode 1 of Druiaki with Miss Aki from Massachusetts. Aki, thank you for your time. And
thank you for your time, Drew.
Yeah, always a pleasure. But
I
guys,
had fun. Yeah, it was great discussing.
Yeah, it was good. So, episode 2, we will be talking about hookup culture. That's a good one. So, guys, we will be uploading that one, I think, maybe next week or maybe this week. I don't know. Me and Aki will coordinate the time. So, yeah. But, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later. See ya.
Stay tuned.